Hey, Augusta Nation. So, hanging out side of this property right here. Team just got done with a property cleanup in the backyard, leaf removal, debris, things of that nature. And today we're going to talk about client relations and what to do when expectation is not met and expectation is different than what was sold. As far as, I'll give you a very specific example right here. We'll get to what's in that bag in a minute, but we're sitting out in front of the property here, and I was off today, a half day. My son Jackson had tubes put in his ears, so I was there this morning, and then I get a call while I'm still at home, and one of my teammates, Jordan, called and said, hey, just got done with his job, and got a call that from the customer. I'm assuming he sent a request for a Google review as how the client got his number. So just to give you the info there. Anyways, Jordan was like, hey man, the client just got done with the property cleanup. We went 45 minutes, I think it was like 45 minutes over the time. So about 1.5 budget hours over on a 4-hour budgeted property. So, okay. So, well, the client wants me to weed the beds. So I'm looking at the estimate. I remember it, but I always look and check the video to see what I promised the customer. I look at it, I instantly remember the conversation we had when I was out there. And so, or whenever I went and did the estimate, I was on the phone with the client. Call the client up just to see how she's feeling. I told Jordan, I said, look, go ahead and, he was already at the other property. I said, don't worry about going back. I'm going to call the client, see what she's feeling, see what her opinion is and what she's wanting. And so I call her, and I'm looking at the estimate, and I said, hey ma'am, I'm just calling because I heard from one of the teammates that completed your property, you were expecting weeds to be pulled. And I said, I've got the estimate here. And she said, yeah, why didn't the weeds get pulled? And I said, well, the estimate that for the job we did today was property cleanup, and I read the line items, leaf removal, blow off the lawn, rake the beds, collect and dispose of the leaves. Nothing to mention about any weeds. And then I look on the other estimates that had gotten sent. One was for recurring mowing, and then an add-on service for recurring bed weeding. I said, our mowing service starts in a couple weeks. You will have your bed weeding. I said, from what I remember, your weeds weren't, terrible. And I said, but if you would like it done, we can gladly schedule a one-time mowing and bed weeding before the season. She's not having it. She, I explained it to her, and she, in her expectation, in her mind, and her perspective, she was getting her weeds pulled. When we talked that day, she asked about the weeds. That's why I told her I'd include a recurring bed weeding. I was like, it'll be handled, once the growing season starts. And so in her mind today, she wanted those beds weeded. And so I've got the competing interests. I've got my team and I'm the estimator as well. So I estimated the property, caused my guys to spend an hour and a half over, which it's part of the game. They understand it, but it still eats at me and it still bothers me. So, they've got other work to do. And I've got the client who had the expectation, already thinks the $300 for the leaf cleanup was high, and she wanted her weeds done. She's not really listening to my side of the story at all, and not to get into the details, she wasn't rude or anything like that. She just, in her mind, she was right, and in my mind, I was right. And as far as representing the Augusta Gold, I had a choice to make. And I spent 22 minutes on the phone with her, talking with her, listening about her needs. In every conversation, it's not just about the weeds. It's not just about the lawn. There's a history behind it. You don't know what she's going through, what anybody's going through. It could be death, it could be divorce, it could be trauma, it could be work stress, it could be financial stress. There's a whole other component. And most of the time when people are nasty to you or are unwilling to hear what you have to say, it's really nothing about you. It's usually something about them. And so here at Augusta, we are wanting to increase the level of professionalism in our industry. And so, don't worry, we'll get to what's in this bag right here. I think you might be able to guess. We're looking to raise the level of professionalism in the industry. And, it's not just about how you dress. It's not just about that beautiful golden retriever and that Augusta Gold on the truck. It's not just about how you execute the property. It's not just about how fast you get an estimate or how fast you communicate, how friendly you are on the phone. Sometimes it's about deciding that instead of being right, you would rather take care of somebody's expectations. And so I had the decision to make, and I was already wrong about the estimated time to complete the property. So we had expectations of my team for me to be an accurate estimator. And that was over a 25% wrong on the budget hours. I estimated 4, it was 5.6. So I was, sorry if it is kind of windy here. So I was already wrong, already I made my team go over. And in the eyes of our customer, I know that's gonna come up on the be bad sound quality. But in the eyes of our brand new client, she had signed up for bi-weekly mowing. Don't know if she's going to go with it or not. It was like $100 a mow, $20 of bed weeding. And the season's about to start. This is her first experience. And in her eyes, we did her wrong. And the way we charge is ridiculous. And, she's just not having a good time. And so I decided, today, her expectations and my teammates' expectations take precedent over my feelings, over whether or not I'm right, whether or not my position matters at all. It is today I decided that this bag of weeds, which doesn't look very big, but I would imagine it probably weighs about 20 pounds in that bag, and it took me 45 minutes. So breaking it down as far as budgeted hours for us, that's 0.75 BHs. We charge $80 an hour, so that was $60. In my mind, $60 as far as 45 minutes of my time outweighed, as far as the making it right, outweighed me either, number one, making my team, not that they'd be mad at me, but I didn't feel they deserved to go over there and do weeds for something that wasn't their fault, and they'd already gone over on the property. And then I also didn't want to further upset a first experienced client. So went a little longer than I do. I usually do go longer as far as talking, but just want to hit home. I know that as landscapers, we face this kind of thing all the time. And me, myself, I have in the past, before I'm wearing Augusta Gold, before I had a team or a vision that included anything other than paying rent or turning the lights on, I'd made some poor choices. Not many, as far as customer relations, but for another video, another time, if you ask about it, I will tell you about a Mother's Day and a time that I left a very large pile of debris that I just spent hours collecting in the front of a customer's yard. And that was when we were Fine Lines, just to be clear, not Augusta. So I hope y'all are out there. Whenever you are out there and it heats up, and whether or not you're deciding whether being right is more important than delivering a happy customer or a happy result, just kind of remember, usually cooler heads prevail, and we're out here, at least if you're wearing Augusta Gold or you listen to Mike Andes, we're out here to increase the level of professionalism, not to prove a stereotype correct. So hope y'all are out there getting after it. Spring is coming. Be ready. Let's get it.